I'm Deacon Chris, and today we're having virtual vacation Bible school. And joining me today is Miss Jessica.
Hey everybody, welcome to Virtual Vacation Bible School, Skills for Faith. Let's get back to Deacon Chris and our friends in the background.
And as always, we start off with the Children's Creed. So let's recite it together. I believe in God above.
I believe in Jesus' love.
I believe His Spirit too.
Comes to tell me what to do.
I believe that I can be
kind and loving, Lord, like thee.
So before we start our lessons, I would like to remind you to take your packets out, and the little crafts that are in there correspond with the lessons that we're going to do today. So if you have them out and you lay them all out, and you can do each craft with each lesson. And we are going to have a great vacation Bible school extravaganza with Jesus and the gang in the gathering room. Stay tuned. Bye.
Bye.
Our first lesson is creation. In 6 days, God created everything. Oh, and I mean everything. The sun, moon, stars, water, the air, animals, and people. Oh, and on the 7th day he rested because he was so busy creating the earth. In creation, we can see everything, but what we cannot see, we trust in God to see. We see God in everything. Let's take a moment to watch the creation slideshow.
I'm Chloe, and I'm going to talk about the Bible story of creation. Take a couple of seconds and think about presents. There are big presents and small presents, and I hope you have gotten your share of them. Did you know there are some presents that are so big that nobody notices them? They are so huge that they are hard to see. They are so hard to see that the only way to know that they are there is to go all the way back to the beginning, or even a little bit before the beginning. In the beginning there wasn't very much. In the beginning there was nothing, except perhaps an enormous smile, but there was no one there to see it. Then on the very first day, God gave us the gift of light. So now there was not just darkness, but there was light and darkness. Now I don't mean just the light in the light bulb or like lights from a car at night. I don't mean just this light or that light. I mean all the light that is light. God gave us the gift of light that all light comes from. And when God saw the light, God said, "It is good." And that was the end of the first day. On the second day, God gave us water. Now I don't mean just the water in a water glass or the water in the bathtub or the shower. I don't even mean just the water in a lake or a river. I don't even mean just the water in the ocean or the water that falls down from the sky as rain. I mean all the water that is water. This is all of the water that is water. This is the water that all the water comes from. When God saw the water, God said, "It is good," and that was the end of the second day. On the third day, God gave us the gift of dry land. God divided the water and the dry land and gave us the gift of green and growing things. When God saw the dry land and the green and growing things, God said, "It is good." And that was the end of the third day. On the fourth day, God gave us the gift of the day and the night. God gave us a way to count our days. Here is the light that rules the day, the sun, and here are the lights that rule the night, the moon and the stars. When God saw the day and the night, our way of keeping time, God said, "It is good," and that was the end of the fourth day. On the fifth day, God gave us the gift of the creatures that fly in the air. Not just the birds, but all of the creatures who fly, and all of the creatures who swim in the water, all of them. When God saw all of the creatures that fly and all of the creatures that swim, God said, "It is good," and that was the end of the fifth day. On the sixth day, God gave us the gift of all of the creatures that walk upon the earth. The creatures that walk on 2 legs like you and me, and the creatures that walk on many legs. When God saw all the creatures that walk on 2 legs, and all the creatures that walk on many legs, and all of the gifts of the other days, God said, "It is very good," and that was the end of the 6th day. On the 7th day, God rested and gave us the gift of a day of rest, and to remember the gifts of all of the other days. There is nothing here because people go to different places to remember the great gifts. You can put something there to show your favorite place to remember. It might be in your backyard by a tree, in a church, or in a room. It might be in the mountains or by a lake or by the ocean. I don't know where your place is. Only you know. Now I wonder which of the days you like best. I wonder which day is most important. I wonder which day are you in, or which one is especially about you. I wonder if we can leave out any one of these days and have all the days that we need.
Miss Jessica here to introduce the second lesson, the Lord's Prayer. We can pray anytime, anywhere, and for anything. TJ, our music minister, will be doing a demonstration of the Lord's Prayer through music. Take it away, TJ.
Thank you, Miss Jessica. Hi there, everybody. This is Mr. TJ, the Minister of Music at St. Peter's. I'm here to talk to you today about the Lord's Prayer, which is a prayer that we pray every time we gather for worship. The Lord's Prayer comes from the Gospels according to St. Matthew and St. Luke. Most of the time when we gather to pray this prayer in church, we sing the prayer. And that's what we'll be talking about today, is how to sing the Lord's Prayer. We'll start out, I'll sing a phrase, and then you sing it back to me, and then we'll come back and sing the whole prayer together. So here's the first line. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Now you sing with me. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Here's the next phrase. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Now we'll go back to thy kingdom. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Here's give us this day. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses. Here's the next line. As we forgive those who trespass against us. We forgive those who trespass against us. This one starts down a little lower. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. And lead. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory. For thine is the kingdom. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory. Here's the ending. Forever and ever. Amen. Forever and ever. Amen. All right, now that we've sung each phrase call and response, we'll go back and sing the entire Lord's Prayer from beginning to end. Here we go. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Thank you for joining me and learning how to sing the Lord's Prayer together. We hope that next time you're in church, you'll sing out nice and strong with everybody else. Back to you, Miss Jessica.
Our third lesson is about the Greatest Commandment. I bet you remember learning about the 10 Commandments in Godly Play. The 10 Commandments give us directions on how to live our daily lives, things we should and should not do. The Greatest Commandment means loving the Lord with all your heart, soul, and mind, while also loving your neighbor as you love yourself. Here is Mr. Ed and the youth to tell us more about the Greatest Commandment.
You wonder what the Greatest Commandment is. Most of the time, when we hear about commandments, we hear about the 10 Commandments that Moses brought down from the mountain on stone tablets in the Old Testament. They taught the Jewish people, who had just been freed from being slaves in Egypt, what God wanted them to do, or not to do. Things like, don't worship false gods, don't steal from your neighbors, don't murder people.
And also, do what your mom and dad say. Don't lie about other people.
But which one is the greatest commandment? Is one of them more important than the rest of them?
No, it's not like that. Jesus was asked by this guy called a Pharisee what the greatest commandment was, because the Pharisee was trying to trick Jesus and make him look bad in front of a group of his friends.
So instead of answering with one of the 10, Jesus said, you shall love your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the greatest commandment. And there's another one just like it.
You shall love your neighbors as yourself. Those are the greatest commandments.
So does that mean that the 10 Commandments don't matter?
No, it means that the 10 Commandments are all combined into 2 simpler commandments.
It also means that you have to go further than just what the 10 Commandments tell you to do. It means that you really have to love God, not just say nice things about Him.
The second one means that you not only have to not commit crimes against your neighbor, but you have to treat your neighbor the same way as you want to be treated.
You mean I have to be nice to the old guy that wouldn't get my ball back when it went over the fence?
Yes.
How about my brothers and sisters? Do they count too?
As hard as it is for me to say no, yes, you have to love your sisters and brothers.
I know it's not always easy, but that is what Jesus tells you to do.
So I have to love my brothers and sisters. I have to love the guy who kept my ball. How about the old lady down the street that is always yelling at us when we ride our bikes?
Yeah, she counts too. And maybe if you were nice to her, she wouldn't yell so much.
How about the lady at school that wears a scarf over her head and around her face so that all you can see are her eyes?
She's probably a Muslim, and she's your neighbor too. Loving your neighbor is as much about loving people who aren't like you as it is about people who are like you.
As a matter of fact, Jesus said you should even love your enemies.
How are you supposed to do that?
It's not easy. You have to forgive them for the bad things they do to you and try to treat them the same way you treat your friends.
So I'm supposed to be nice to the person who's trying to hurt me?
Yes, you have to decide that you are willing to live a life that shares the good things with other people, even the ones who are mean to you. Do you understand now why they call it the Greatest Commandment now?
I guess so.
And do you understand now who the neighbor is that you're supposed to love?
Everybody, even me?
Hi, this is Deacon Chris, and we're coming to a close of our virtual Vacation Bible School this year. I hope you enjoyed it. Even though we're far apart physically, we are still together spiritually. I do have a couple of wondering questions. I wonder, how have you been seeing things since you've been out of school? I wonder, what is different about this VBS this year? So I can answer one of the questions, and I want you to think about the second question. How I see things is I see things like creation more vividly and see the turtles in the ponds, the egrets and the herons flying over, bunnies gathering food for their babies, flowers blooming, the bright sunshine during the day, even the raindrops trickling down into the ponds at the end of the day, and the moon and the stars at night. And we're all going to pray so we can be together very soon. And take the 10 Commandments, and especially the greatest commandment of all, which is to love your neighbor as yourself, and to do kind acts to your brothers, sisters, your mom, dad, or anyone you meet, grandparents. So I hope you enjoyed Vacation Bible School. I want to thank Jessica Potter, Ed Chamberlain, our music minister TJ, and the youth who participated in this Vacation Bible School and made it possible for us to stay connected spiritually. And all my friends, Jesus in the gang, in the gathering room. And I want to thank you for all attending this year. Let us end with the Our Father that we will say together. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, for ever and ever. Amen. So thank you again for attending. I hope to see you all very soon. I keep you in my prayers daily, so please keep us in your prayers daily. Happy summer.